Hello everyone, Mob Spider here, hope you all are having a fantastic day today. You all seem to really enjoy my favorite thing about each COD Zombies map, so naturally I'd follow that up with what I consider to be the worst aspect of every Zombies map. Keep in mind that, once again, these are my personal opinions, and for a lot of these maps I'm gonna be very nitpicky because there were quite a few that it was either hard to come up with some I hated, or there wasn't really some that I hated in general. But enough stalling, let's begin. Nocturne Tone's worst aspect to me is the slow zombie spawns. Rounds 1 to 5 take absolutely forever to get going. It would be more fun to watch paint dry than play the first few rounds on Noct. Varrock's worst feature to me is actually that the map doesn't take place at night. Think about it. This is the only map in World at War that takes place during the day. In my opinion though, it's the only one that shouldn't have. If it was dark just like the other maps, it would have made a really good horror experience. It was just an extremely missed opportunity in my opinion. Personally, I think the worst aspect of Shinonuma is the layout. It has 4 paths branching out from a central building with nothing else to connect those paths until Vanguard added the Pack-a-Punch area. So once you get a perk, you need to charge straight towards the horde to go somewhere else, which wouldn't be a problem except for that fucking water. The Wonderwaff taking your jug glitch absolutely ruins the Reese for me. You can't even use the most powerful gun in the game because it'll end up getting you killed. And Quick Revive didn't even revive you on solo in World at War, so if you went down, it meant game over. In my opinion, the worst aspect of Kino der Tone is the alleyway. Personally, I just think it's complete wasted space. Aside from going to get double tap, there is no reason this area needs to exist. 5 has quite possibly the worst wonder weapon of all time, the Winter's Howl. It's good until like round 20, then it takes an entire clip just to kill one zombie. Like, look at the gameplay. I mean, it's clear that this thing isn't very good. As much as the monkeys on Ascension piss me off, I actually wish that this map just had a brand new wonder weapon. Don't get me wrong, I love the Thunder Gun, but I really think they could have done something really cool for a brand new wonder weapon. You're going to notice a pattern moving forward with this video, but for Call of the Dead, I cannot stand George Romero. This 7-foot-tall man-baby chases you around the entirety of your game, and once you finally think you gotten rid of him, he just immediately spawns back in once you finish the round. Worst of all though, he has 250,000 health points per player, so if you spawn in with 4 people, he has 1 million HP, so yeah, have fun with that. Shangri-La's worst feature is when you're playing with randoms and can't unlock the Pack-a-Punch because all 4 of you need to stand on 4 different tiles at the same time. And as we all know, playing Call of Duty Zombies with randoms is its own layer of hell, right above the one dedicated to the sick fuck that made these movies. Seriously, why the fuck are there 3 of them? Moon's worst aspect is how you can't have the PES and the hacker device equipped at the same time. To me, it's just really irritating that you gotta pick between them, and there's really no reason that you do. Alright, if I wanted to list everything bad about Transit, I would be here for hours. But since I only gotta pick one thing, I'm going to say the bus. Because it either takes you forever to move when you're ready, or it leaves you behind while you're doing other stuff. And it is just so annoying. Then, if it leaves you behind, you gotta deal with the denizens, the fog, and the lava, and yeah, we're moving on. This fucking map is absolute garbage. A lot of people bitch about dying to fall damage on Die Rise, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me all that much. The thing that I'm going to say is my least favorite thing about this map is just how empty this map is. There's just so much wasted space on this map that serves no purpose whatsoever. I don't hate the randomized perks on Nuketown, but the worst thing about it is when you get to round 20 and finally get Juggernog. It's more of a luck-based thing than anything, but it still sucks. The worst thing about Mob of the Dead, in my opinion, is the part system in solo. Needing to carry one part around the map at a time to build the plane or refuel the plane or whatever is really annoying. In co-op, it's not that big of an issue, but again, in solo, it's just really annoying. As much as I love Buried, high rounding the map is really mind-numbing. High round camping strats are usually really boring, but in my opinion, this map just goes the extra mile with it. I know I said that the Easter egg is the best thing about Origins, and I still agree with that, but doing it on solo is extremely tedious and annoying. Building the staffs by yourself is already irritating, but the other steps on solo aren't much better. I'm not gonna lie, there's not much that I hate about Shadows of Evil, so it was pretty hard for me to pick some for this video. But then I remembered that when I first started playing the map, I could not stand the Margwas. Again, nowadays they don't bother me as much, but they were really the only thing I could think of that kept me from loving this map for the longest time. So, just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna leave these here. Just like Shadows of Evil, Drak was really difficult for me to think of some that I hated for, because once again, it's my favorite map of all time. But there is one thing that I find annoying every time I play this map, and this is the dragon heads. Not so much the mechanic itself of needing to feed the dragon heads in order to get the bow, but the fact that you gotta kill each zombie one at a time extremely slowly and wait for like a 10 to 20 second animation to play for it to eat one zombie at a time and then repeat this like 5 to 10 times. It is really irritating, and this is the only thing that I don't like about this map. Zetsubo's worst feature, in my opinion, is the Thrashers. These things multiply like rabbits, especially on later rounds, and it gets old really fucking quickly. I told you I was going to be nitpicky with some of these, because Gorod's worst aspect, in my opinion, are the dragons that breathe fire on certain areas of the map. It can be irritating when you need to get to a location or you're running away from a threat, only for these dragons to come in and block off the area for a little bit. Again, there wasn't too much I could say that I disliked about this map. Revelation's worst feature, in my opinion, is how for all of the enemy spam, the only new boss or special zombie in this map are the Furies. Other than that, I can't really think too much to complain about. If you're one of those people that complain about the layout of Verrucht being extremely tight quarters, holy fuck, never play Voyage of Despair. It is pretty much nothing but really tight rooms and corridors. While it can be fun with how chaotic it is on high rounds, just traversing the map can be really difficult at times. 9's worst aspect to me is the death of Orion. For how cool this weapon looks, it's a damn shame it's basically just a shit Wonderwaff. Not to mention, the quest to get it is irritating, and it doesn't even guarantee that you're going to get it out of the box the first time. As much as I want to take a 10 laxative level shit on Dead of the Night, the biggest problem I have with this map is just how much shit there is to do to set up. Like, look at this. Pause the video, no, seriously, pause the video and read all of this. Does this look like fun? Not only that, but there are 103 part locations. 103. That is absolutely ridiculous. This map is just overwhelming as hell, making it impossible for new players. Now, I know this may be a case of me just needing to get good and know the map, but unlike maps like Shadows of Evil, Origins, or Drak, it doesn't keep me invested enough to want to learn the map. Maybe if you strap me down to a chair and force me to play this map for a month straight, maybe then I'd enjoy it. But until then, I'm going to send that idea to James Wan because I think I just came up with a suitable plot for Saw 11. Whew, okay, need to calm down a little bit there. There's not anything that I hate about Ancient Evil, but my least favorite thing about it is the boss zombies. The giggity... the giggity knees. No, you know what? We're keeping that. That's fucking great. I love that. Okay, we're keeping that. We're keeping that in. The Giganese is an absolute bullet sponge, and he also has this attack with his shield that blinds you and slows you down. He's not insanely annoying, but he can be a pain in the ass if you aren't prepared. Blood of the Dead's worst aspect, in my opinion, is how the Pack-a-Punch randomly switches between 3 places around the map, with absolutely zero indications as to where it is, as opposed to some like Drak. It's just super irritating having to go around the map trying to figure out where it is. The fact that you need to get to around 150 unclassified to beat the Easter egg is fucking ridiculous. This is the only Easter egg I refuse to do because it can take anywhere from 8 to 10 hours straight to do. I got a life, man. I can't be doing this shit. While personally, I don't absolutely hate Alpha Omega. It's like a B tier map in my opinion. I can totally understand why people dislike it. Case in point, the fact that you gotta unclog the vents every few rounds for Pack-a-Punch. I thought I was playing a zombies map, not House Maintenance Simulator. The worst thing about Togder Tone to me is the fact that the new wonder weapons we got were just reskins. I wish we got some different. Maybe some like an icicle launcher? I mean, that could have been cool. Or maybe like a snowball launcher like the one from Fortnite. I don't know. There were just so many things they could have done, but they took the easy way out. Die Machine's worst feature to me is actually the boss fight. Literally all you need to do here is just survive until Orlov finishes destroying the equipment. You don't even need to defend him because he literally cannot die. All they needed to do was make it so he could take damage, and while this boss fight, if you can even call it that, wouldn't have been good, it wouldn't have been completely fucking pointless either. What? Were you expecting me to say the worst part about Firebase Z was the Orda boss fight at the end of the Easter egg? Well, you'd be half right, because fuck the assault waves. Especially once the Orda starts spawning. You gotta stop everything you're doing and go to these extractors, and it can be really irritating at times. Okay, even though I've shat on Dead of the Night, this might be my hottest take yet, but I'm just gonna say this. Fuck the Legion boss in Outbreak, and the Easter egg as a whole. First of all, you gotta get to round 3 before you can even do it, which just seems like padding for the sake of padding. I would explain the rest, but just because I don't want this segment to go on for minutes at a time, I'm just going to go over the most annoying steps. One step requires you to kill about one metric fuck ton of mimics, with one specific mimic dropping a very small key that you can barely see. Another requires you to collect crystals and deposit them into a device, very slowly, one at a time, and do not even get me started on that fucking ghost monkey step. I actually had a hard time thinking about what the worst part of Mauer Tone is, but I ultimately decided that the Dead Man strips were my least favorite thing about it, purely because of the sound the sniper towers make when you get caught in the spotlight. So you remember how I said I originally disliked the Margwas and Shadows? Well, the Abominations of Forsaken are the same thing, except I still hate these fucking things. They are literally just the Margwas, but more irritating versions of them. They gave this boss the perfect name because they are abominations to fight against. As much as I'll vouch for Modern Warfare zombies, and don't get me wrong, I will defend this game to my grave, there is a lot that I do not like about it, but since I can only pick one thing for this video, I'm gonna say that the most annoying aspect to me has to be the mercenaries. AI that shoots at you with guns should not be allowed in zombies, and this isn't even the first time they've made this mistake, but in my opinion, it's definitely the most annoying one. I mean, there's definitely a lot more that I could say, but there is still time for them to fix or tweak certain things with this mode, so this could have been a ton of different things, but this was the one I decided to go with. And that's what I consider to be the worst aspect of every single zombies map. Do you agree with my choices, or was there some I missed? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, why not give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing, but if you didn't like it, that's cool too. But with that being said guys, this was Mob Spider, and I'll see you all next time.